Good evening and welcome to the Lincoln City Urban Renewal Agency meeting on December 9th, and it is currently 5:31. The Urban Renewal Agency reserves the right to add or delete any items as needed, change the order of the agenda, and discuss any other business deemed necessary at the time of the meeting. And I don't think there's any changes to the agenda. Is that right?
No? Yes.
Except one. And we'll deal with that when we get to it. How about it? Okay. And then all information for this meeting is available at the city's website under Agenda Packets and Video. And you can also watch us on Channel 4 if you wish. If you wish to speak on an agenda or a non-agenda item, please sign up on the sheet near the entrance to the council chambers. You will be called to speak during the public comments section. Comments or testimony on items listed under public hearing, public comment will be taken at that time. And roll call, please.
Deanna Hinton.
Here.
Riley Hoagland. Diane Coos. She's excused. Rick Mark.
Here.
Mitch Parsons.
Here.
Dick Anderson.
Yes.
And Judy Casper.
Here. Thank you. Does anybody wish to speak from the audience? I guess no. Okay, and we have minutes of 2 meetings, but I would like to poll D2 as we'll wait for the updated minutes for that date. Anybody like to make a motion?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I move to approve the Urban Renewal Agency minutes of October 14th, 2019.
Second.
Okay, we have a first and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. Okay. And are there presentations this evening?
One coming.
Good evening, Chair Hinton, agency members. So on your agenda this evening, you have a couple of things. One is a resolution, and I'll just briefly give you a staff report about what the resolution pertains to. On March 25th, 2019, Council was presented with feasibility studies to consider forming 2 new urban renewal areas and directed staff to move forward with creating a new urban renewal plan for the Rhodes End Villages, a Cascade Head area, while doing some additional research for a possible Nelscott Southeast 23rd industrial mixed-use area. On May 13th, Council formed an advisory committee to assist in creating a plan for the Rhodes End Villages, a Cascade Head area. The city is limited to 25% of its total acreage that can be within 1 or more urban renewal areas. In order to have sufficient acreage to consider forming a second urban renewal area, in addition to the existing year 2000 development plan area, which is mostly along Highway 101, that will sunset in June 2021, tax-exempt acreage needs to be removed from the year 2000 area. This minor amendment to the year 2000 development or urban renewal plan will remove tax-exempt acreage as well as some public rights-of-way so that the acreage can be used in considering formation of the new Rhodes End Villages at Cascade Head area. So basically what we're doing is we have an existing urban renewal area. We're going to remove tax-exempt and public right-of-way acreage so that we can use that acreage when the City Council is considering forming another area. Are there any questions about this?
Does anyone have any questions of
I
staff?
just have a simple one. What is under, you have a list of owners in the properties. What does LSSR stand for?
Shore Star Resort?
Yes, I think
Was
so.
that Lincoln Shore Star Resort? Oh.
That'd be a good guess.
I mean, right.
Thank you.
So, was there any process in eliminating any of this?
There was lots of internal process
Sure.
with a lot of help from Sandy Gruber. We really had to look at the area to make sure that everything is contiguous. So if we removed a lot and it split it into 2 shapes, then we couldn't have that. And basically, we tried to remove as much area as possible so that when the council, I know it's kind of weird to say council, but wearing your other hat, are considering in the future whether or not to form a second area, that we give you the most flexibility with removing the acreage that's not needed. When we went to the bank that has our final bond that we pay, the bank, we gave the bank a list of properties that was smaller than this. And then we took another look at it because we realized that we may need more acreage until this one sunsets in 2021. And so we went back and got a second permission from the bank to remove additional acreage. Basically, there were a few criteria that we used. One, obviously, it has to be tax exempt, because if we take taxable property out, then it's affecting our payback of our bond, so we didn't want that to be the case. And then we thought about who we could have apply for an urban renewal economic development tool sometime between now and when the district sunsets. So even though we don't have a lot of loans come in, a loan request on a facade improvement, let's say for a church, a nonprofit, even though a property is tax exempt, we wanted to keep it in the area so that we weren't making that decision for that property owner. And then there is some area down Highway 101, the center line, that was carved out, and that was basically just to maximize the acreage that we are removing from this area. So lots of feedback loops in order to arrive at this map.
So, does anyone else have any questions?
I-
Do you have one?
Actually, the only thing I was looking at was the maps, and I was wondering if you really could pull off the contiguous, knowing you needed acreage. And I marveled at the snaking effect, I guess would be the right one, of putting it together. Nice job.
Yeah, I will pass that along. That's really credit to Sandy Gruber.
I was going to say that too. Well done. And what is just for the folks at home, what is the acreage that we'll be removing from?
I want to say
2000 plan.
312. Let's see. 141, about 141 acres.
And then we'll be able to use that amount of acreage
Yes.
for the new districts. Okay.
Yes. Mhm.
Any other questions for staff? Thank you.
And if you do have time at the end of the meeting, I have one other thing. I'd just like to introduce a staff person.
Okay, sure. So I believe we are at the place where we'd like to consider the adoption of resolution number UR 2019-03.
Madam Chairman,
Sir,
I will move that we adopt resolution number UR 2019-03. That's it.
Second.
there's a first and a second, a motion and a second. Any comments? And do we need a roll call for this, for the resolution?
I would.
Okay, could we have a roll call, please?
Anderson,
Yes.
Casper,
Yes.
Hinton,
Yes.
Hoagland,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
and Parsons.
Yes.
Motion carries.
So we passed the resolution, and I believe that brings us to the point at which you would like to introduce your staff person, please.
Thanks. Basically, I just want to say this is Jody Mesher. I'm very excited. She's actually here wearing the city hat rather than the urban renewal hat. But I thought we might take a minute and I'll just let you know. So she's the city's economic development coordinator serving with the RARE AmeriCorps program. And basically she's here through July. So 11 months in total. And she has a bachelor's degree in environmental economics with sustainability from the Ohio State University. And she completed a 2-year Peace Corps assignment in Zambia, where she worked as a rural aquaculture extension agent. After returning from Zambia, Jody moved to Oregon and has since been enjoying the many natural amenities of the Pacific Northwest. And as far as I can tell, she's excited to be in Lincoln City. And she's working on 4 projects, so I'll let Jody just briefly describe what those projects are so you're aware.
Yeah, so I'm working on developing the city's economic development toolbox. I'm also working on historic preservation and seeing what the city can do to become a certified local government, which will allow the city to apply for funding for historic preservation. And then I'm also doing an underutilized property survey in key commercial areas of the city, and working on the new urban renewal area plan in roads and villages, which we'll talk about a little bit more in the work session tomorrow.
All right. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming all the way from wherever you were.
Ohio.
Columbus,
Oh, well, Ohio might
Yeah.
be.
Buckeyes.
Via
you know,
Portland.
My husband's from there. But anyway, just thank you for coming.
She even knows what to say when I say OH.
We're good at spelling in Ohio. Ohio.
Well, welcome and thank you for being here.
Thank you. I've been enjoying
Looking
it so
forward
far.
to your work products.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Allison. All right. Do any of the agency members have comments, questions? Advance? No. Okay, all right, thank you. We are adjourned.